How you guys doing? Taylor Teacher Wait here, and I am your theme park reviewer because there's just nobody else that's doing it. So, guess what? I'm doing it for you guys because I know we're getting close to the peak season, the summer season. I live in Florida, and I want to give you guys some tips and stuff for if you're going to be traveling around the world, not just Florida. Of course, if you're coming to Florida, I got some tips for you too. So, if you ever wanted to see a tip video from me, I will give it to you because I know about Florida. I've been going my life, pretty much almost all my life, because I'm not dead yet. Of course, by what you guys see as my title up here, that I'm gonna be reviewing on an adventure. The reason why I wanted to review this park is because, well, I hold this park very dearly into my heart, and I really love this park. It's one of the first actual theme parks I went to when I was a kid, when I first went to Florida. So this, for me, is the biggest feat I've ever seen. Well, not feat, but biggest thing I want to do. I'm not just trying to knock out the park just for the fact that I'm just knocking out the park. It's just the fact that it's also a really good music park. It's gonna get it's gonna get a Harry Potter expansion. It's gonna be a big park. It's still a big park, and I still love it. And I think if anybody goes to Florida, sure, Disney World's gonna be your #1 thing on your list, but you always gotta go to Universal Studios Florida for at least Harry Potter now. If not, just Islands of Adventure, because Islands of Adventure is a really great park, and I want to get you guys to actually go over there and check it out. Check out Universal Studios Florida. It's a really great park. I'm sorry, a really great area. Universal Studios Orlando Resort. It's a really great area. It's a good diversion from, well, Disney. That'll last you about 2 days if you want to spend one full day in one park, one full day in another park, and if you want to do it well, maybe 3 days. So you got one full day in one park, one full day in another park, and one full day in a water park. And there you go. You're done with Universal Studios. It's not that bad. Enjoy yourself at City Walk, because City Walk is amazing. I love City Walk, but we're gonna get to this right away. So let's get on to the Bible. So, Islands of Adventure opened up on May 28th, 1999, under the speculations that Islands of Adventure was actually kind of in development for 10 years, since 1991, which also kind of goes back to 1990, but also goes back a little bit further to maybe 89, 88, when Universal Studios Florida was first being constructed as a park. By the time 1991 came, and it was rumored the fact that Islands of Adventure was going to become a part of an expansion project for Universal Studios Florida to become a resort, and project for Universal Studios Florida to become a resort. And by 1985, it was fully unveiled that they were going to be doing that, especially with something like City Walk, especially with things like City Walk and a couple other hotels. And you know what? It became a big thing. The first actual land for Islands of Adventure was going to be basically DC Comics, the Dr. Seuss area, which you already know is there still, and Warner Brothers. Pretty funny because now we have Harry Potter, but it would have been cool to see something like Looney Tunes there, or who knows. It would have been cool. It would have been cool. You guys wouldn't lie. It would have been cool. Of course, there was other stuff there too. By 1996, they've already unveiled the fact that they're going to put Jurassic Park into there, so think DC Comics, Dr. Seuss, Warner Brothers, and Jurassic Park. 4 themed areas plus, of course, a port of entry, which was already there. But by 1997, they already unveiled that there are 6 different areas, which we already know today, which is now 7 different areas, which is Jurassic Park, Toon Lagoon, what's now Jurassic Park, what's now Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Lost Continent, which is pretty much lost. I'm sorry, Lost Continent. You're just lost. I'm sorry. And Seuss Landing. Of course, I'm forgetting Port of Entry, which makes 7. There you go. 7, 7, 7. And of course, Wizarding World of Harry Potter is going to be undergoing an expansion, but also from the fact that the park had actually, back in the day when it first opened, never gotten really that much recognition. Though it did have a decent amount of people coming to the park, maybe about 100,000 to 1 million every single day. 100,000 to possibly 1 million every single day. It didn't really speak too much for the fact that they wanted bigger numbers to outbeat Disney. This was supposed to be the park that was supposed to outbeat Disney, because it had theming, it had actual fun stuff, it had actual thrills, something that Disney didn't really get, and something that Universal actually saw. So they want to use that as an advantage, and yet they even called the actual resort Universal Studios Escape Resort. But of course, as Universal speculates and says, that the reason why they changed the name is because people didn't know that Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida were two different parks. Yeah, I know, it doesn't make sense, right? So basically, they said that they would rechange the name they will change the name from Universal Studios Escape Resort to Universal Studios Orlando Resort to reduce the confusion. Makes no sense. What about just making an actual commercial that says buy a ticket for Islands of Adventure and Florida, Universal Studios Florida, or get a dual pack. Get one ticket for two parks, like Disney does every single time for their commercials, just to sell out Disney. I really don't know why they needed to do that, because I like Universal Escape Resort, or Universal Studios Escape Resort as a name. It was really cool, really original, better than Universal Orlando Resort, but we've all grown to love Universal Orlando Resort, and, you know, I don't have much of a problem with the name, but I still like Escape Resort, because it sounds cool. Who doesn't want to go to a cool resort? It's called Escape. Who doesn't want to escape from their own life? That's just, I don't know. Now I want the good, the bad, and not that important. So the good of this park. Basically, Universal's Islands of Adventure was what Universal Studios Florida didn't have. Universal Studios Florida at the time didn't have thrills. It didn't have the Revenge of the Mummy. It didn't have Hollywood Riptide Rocket. It didn't have, I would say, Men in Black Alien Attack, the attraction, but I really can't really put that into the part, but it's still pretty thrilling. I like it. I love that ride. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite dark rides ever. Ever. Okay, apart from The Amazing Spider-Man, but still, it's one of my favorite dark rides. I don't know, it's just fun. Islands of Adventure was basically made for what Universal Florida didn't have. You know, like the Genesis does, but what Nintendo don't. I'm sorry. What Genesis does, what Nintendo don't, is basically what Islands of Adventure does, what Universal Studios Florida don't. Islands of Adventure does have thrill rides, and really good ones too. Ones that you can. It's pretty damn unique, and I don't know why they're so unique, but they're just so amazing. You just can't get that same feeling that you get from Islands of Adventure into any other park. Like, you can't ride another ride like the Incredible Hulk coaster. You can't ride a drop raft ride like Jurassic Park River Adventure, except for any other Universal Studios park. You can't ride Popeye and Bluto's rat barges in a raft ride anywhere else, because this one is the one that I felt like I got most drenched out of all the other raft rides I've ever been on in my life in amusement parks. This one I felt like I got drenched. I literally got my socks wet, my underwear wet, my shirt wet, my glasses were soaked, like I couldn't even see it, I couldn't even rub it off. You got to wait till going on to the Amazing Spider-Man ride. I'm sorry, I stumbled over my words, but I had to wait till I got to the Amazing Spider-Man ride to get there. Everything was soaked, pretty much all that. So I gotta say, Popeye and Bluto's rat bars is my favorite for getting drenched. Really, my favorite for getting drenched. And mostly, out of everything, Dudley Do-Right Flips Off Balls. You just can't get the same feeling of any other log flume ride that you can get from this ride, from this log flume ride. It's just, it's a go-to ride for me if I go to Universal Studios Florida, to go to Dudley Do-Right Flips Off Balls, because it's just so much fun. I love the attraction. I love it. It has good thrills. The next thing is, it's got good theming. One of my favorite themed areas, apart from the original world of Harry Potter, is Port of Entry. It's one of the best themed areas I've ever seen. First of all, the Port of Entry is basically both the outside of the park and also the inside of the park when you're walking in of Islands of Adventure. So basically, when you're outside, you see Pharaoh's Tower. What Pharaoh's Tower is basically that big lighthouse. If you ever go to Islands of Adventure, or if you're going to the website, or if you see it on YouTube, and you see Pharaoh's Tower, which is the big lighthouse, that's Pharaoh's Tower. That's the central icon. And that's the thing about Universal Studios. They don't like to do essential icons inside the park. They like to do essential icons outside the park. I kind of noticed that from the fact that usually if you're going to do a picture, you got to do it in front of like the outside of the park, which I like better, because you're not like Universal Studios Florida. They do a good job by giving you that chance, but except Islands of Adventure's central icon is not that much photogenic because Islands of Adventure is not plastered right into your background. It's kind of more above your head, kind of like literally this much higher than your head. Of course, it's not you're fully accurate, but it's pretty high. It's pretty high. You're not gonna get a perfect picture in front of it, unlike Universal Globe. So, what can I tell? What can I tell you? I'm sorry, I missed off my words today. Damn it. But yeah, Islands of Adventure has a really good. Basically, the Port Adventure has a really good theme. Once you're walking through the turnstiles, you're passing by the place where you buy your tickets. You're going through the entrance. You're walking through what's the gift shops, the restaurants, and of course your Cinnabon. I love Cinnabon, so I'm throwing that out there. And of course, your quick service restaurants. You see this banner, this stone type of banner that's like built between these two buildings, and it says the adventure. My mind gets blown because you don't really get that from any other theme park. It gives you a feeling that you're gonna experience something really fun. You're gonna really enjoy yourself going to this park, and yet when you see the adventure begins, I just feel like yes, I am about to experience a really good adventure, and I even love going. I always love going down the port of entry to where the lagoon is, where they don't even take a picture in front of this lagoon. And I don't usually like they don't even take a picture. I hate lagoons in amusement parks. I think they're most biggest waste of space for amusement parks, especially theme parks. I don't think it's the best theming. Sure, a big space for water to kind of separate and makes things look pretty. To me, it's nothing. I think it looks ridiculous. You're wasting space. You can have like attractions there to make the park more fun. But instead, I gotta say, I like this lagoon. I don't think that this lagoon should go away. If they're gonna put something in the lagoon, maybe just like a tiny little island that has like an attraction there, and that'll be cool. Maybe a new area, maybe new I don't know, a new island would be cool for that area. That would be pretty awesome. Especially for if it was like the central icon or something like that, it'll be pretty awesome to see that. Mostly, all I can say is that if you ever go to the lagoon, if you ever go to Islands of Adventure ever again, go to the lagoon because the cool thing about the lagoon is you get to see every single island in Islands of Adventure. You see Marvel Superhero Island, Toon Lagoon, even the Wizard World of Harry Potter, which is pretty visible. The Lost Continent and Seuss Land is right beside you. So both Marvel Superhero Island and Seuss Land is going to be right beside you. I still say, and I forgot to mention Jurassic Park because Jurassic Park is also there. You can see it too. The thing is, it kind of shows you what adventures lying ahead of you. Once again, the adventure freaking begins. The adventure begins, and you see your adventure in front of you. I think it was the coolest. The last time I went there, which was about a couple weeks ago, I kind of looked at the lagoon and said, you know what, this is possibly one of the best uses of a lagoon in a amusement park. I don't usually like them, but they did a really good job at this. I really like the fact that they did a good job with using your lagoon and a certain go to Islands of Adventure again. Just look at the lagoon and take a picture in front of it. Let's make the lagoon at Islands of Adventure the central icon for Islands of Adventure because it's so cool. Just look at it, take a picture in front of it to actually say like, yeah, we've been to Islands of Adventure. We've gone to. All I can really say is that they did a great job with the lagoon, and they used the lagoon that it doesn't seem like it's useless and just there to look good, because I hate that. I usually hate lagoons that do that. Like, I don't give a crap if it looks good. Make theming look good. Don't make the lagoon look good. Like, it's water. I can see water outside. Give me something else. That's just my opinion, though. I don't usually like lagoons. I don't see lagoons. Basically, I like everything about the Port Adventure because you got the shops that actually look like they're kind of, out of the mythological age, Greece or Spain, even Italy, because, like, really mythological the era of that time, because the buildings look very kind of ancient looking, and they're really cool, very well crafted. Even walking into the shops, it's not like a wall that says straight to my wall right back here. It's basically like it's all kind of rubble. It looks like rock and whatnot. It looks out of shape. It looks like it's not fully crafted right. So I thought that was really cool with their theming of that. I didn't think they would actually do that, but heck, they did that, and it looks awesome. You don't usually see that in most other attractions or amusement parks, theme parks in that case. You don't really get that, but when you get it here, it's awesome. I love it. I freaking love it. I was loving the Port of Entry, especially the lagoon. Next thing is favorite areas. which is a part of the goods. My favorite area's gotta be Marvel Super Island, Toon Lagoon, and Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Hands down. Somewhat Lost Continent, but really, these three are my top. Marvel Super Island, why? Because it feels like you're walking into a comic book. It does, but the only thing that turns me off is just seeing a big still of Wolverine on a building. And Doctor Octopus on a building. You're gonna see it. You see it right here, and even you just see these big plasters of characters on these buildings. Like I don't care if it's on the sign for the ride. Maybe I don't. I do kind of care for the Amazing Spider-Man because they don't need to have the Amazing Spider-Man on there. They can just write down the Amazing Spider-Man ride. Like it's not that hard to look for. It's a big branding of. It's a big logo right there. It even lights up at night, especially the Incredible Hulk coaster roars all the time, so it's not really that hard to look for the Incredible Hulk coaster. I think they could have just made a better, cooler branding and more cooler interior, but that's just about the theming. Mostly the interior theming for the rides are pretty good, but sometimes they're not always that great with Jurassic Park. But we're gonna get into that with the bad, the not super great. But Marvel Super Island is one of my favorites for the fact that it feels like you're walking into a comic book because every building is out of proportion. It's not. It looks like it's actually hand drawn, but it's 3D. Well, not actually, it's an R kind of dimension, basically. Because some people just call it R dimension 3D, but we're not 3D. We're about 45D because we live in time. We live in time. So we're in 5D. 5D is about time, physical and touching, whatever, which is 4D. Uh, anyways. Basically, everything in this area looks really cool, except for the fact that they have stills of characters on buildings. Like, that's the only thing that pisses me off. But everything else is really cool, because everything just seems like it's out of a comic book. It just pops out of the page, and you can touch it, and it's really cool. And even when you see the characters, like, they have the superheroes coming out. They usually have the villains coming out, too, which is pretty cool. There's even little Easter eggs in the area, in the actual park, in the Marvel Super Island area, which is really cool. I've never seen Easter eggs in amusement park, theme parks. Of course, for Disney they have Hidden Mickeys, but for Marvel Super Island you get things like the Stark, like they have a Stark Industries store top on like a floor. They have like a phone booth, I think, that's supposed to be for there, something like that. They have a Kingpin shop, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of Easter eggs. I do suggest if you ever go to Islands of Adventure again, try to look around. It's been kind of notified over the internet, but hopefully you guys get to know that there is a bit of a Easter eggs around there, which is pretty cool. Next is Toon Lagoon. Toon Lagoon is one of my favorite areas for the fact that it's cool. Some people don't even like the theme in the area. Why? Because they have a picture. They have like a still of Marmaduke on one area. They have a still of they have the comic book cafe, which has like a whole bunch of different. That's basically when you enter into the area from the Marvel Superhero Island side. It doesn't seem like you're actually walking to a legit area. It seems like something out of Six Flags, and I wouldn't lie. It does seem like something out of Six Flags, but the real reason why I like it a lot is for the fact that it's based on cartoons. It's based on anything you would see on TV from the 40s, 50s, 30s, which I've never been growing up during that time. I've never seen Dudley Do-Right on television. I've seen some of Popeye, but in color, and yeah, they're a piece of crap. I don't know about the ones in the 50s or 30s, but I'm pretty sure they were good. But I know the ones in color and the ones in 3D were bad. I didn't really like the Popeye movie, and I never seen the Dudley Do-Right movie with Brendan Fraser. But all I could really say is that, this area is really cool because it's based on cartoons. What do you expect? I wouldn't say that there's a lot of unproportional things in this area because there's really not really much. But I also figured out why I like the area, just for the fact it's based on cartoons, not really based on one character or a certain set of characters in one universe. Like Marvel Super Island, you know it's comic book, you know it's about the Marvel characters, so it's gotta kind of match up with the actual drawings in a comic book, and that's why that area really sums up to being really good, except for the fact that you see Wolverine on a freaking building. It pisses me off. But here, I don't really have much of a problem because I know it's not basically based on like a certain idea or main premise of characters. It's just two different characters from two different worlds. Dudley Do Right's from like another cartoon series, and Popeye and Blue are from another different series. So to me, I was like, okay, it's not really based off of one guy who did these characters, and it should be based off of all of his ideas in there, because really it doesn't have much from his ideas. You got Marmaduke, who's from newspaper strips. I thought it was a really cool area, and I love how even Dudley Do Right strips off falls is really it's done pretty well. I love the cute area from Popeye and Bluto. Whoever goes on that attraction, I do suggest it because the fact that it's really fun, it's really good, and I really enjoy it. It's long, it's long, it's got a good amount of length, so I would give you this suggestion if you do want to have some time to stay in a park a little bit longer. If you do, I don't really know, go on that ride, but they have a really cool theming. It's really cool theming in the queue area. I thought it was really nice because you see like a lot of fishermen stuff in there, and they're kind of cartoony in this way, and I thought it was really nicely done. Dudley Do Right, Riffsaw Falls. It's just really well themed. They have like a stone faces. They have like a Mount Rushmore version of the Dudley Do Right characters that you see on the ride, which is really cool. And I thought that was really nice. The actual theming of the queue area is a bit iffy. It's not super perfect, but I didn't even really understand it the first time I went there. That's when I had to read on the internet to find out the first area walking through. Not the outside queue area, but the inside queue area. The first area is supposed to be a mining facility, and also supposed to be the bad guys' lair. I never really figured that out, but I know the second area is supposed to be like Dudley Do Right's office, and the girl, the actress's office too, and then there's a beaver and a moose talking to each other. I really didn't understand that part at all, so I can't really say that the queue area for this area is perfect, because I got iffy about it. I was like, I don't really understand what's going on here. Or really, it just seems like room to room. It's not really well themed, unlike Popeye and Bluto. Popeye and Bluto was pretty well themed. I really thought it was actually in a fisherman's like house or those shacks that you go into. I thought that was believable, but this one for Popeye and Bluto was not Popeye and Bluto, for Dudley Do Right was a bit iffy. But it's real Harry Potter. There's really not much I can really say, except for the fact that it's really well themed. It's pretty much damn near perfect. I don't usually curse on most of my videos. I know I curse a little bit now, but it's pretty close to being perfect, except for the fact that it's not always out of proportion. Well, not out of proportion. It's not accurate to the books by 1%, because Ollivanders is not a Hogsmeade. They just put it in there for I don't know what reason, except for the fact that they didn't think they're going to do an expansion. But from the fact that they're doing an expansion now and actually adding in Diagon Alley, I'll just say, hey, just get rid of Ollivanders there and make Ollivanders into the second area in Diagon Alley and make it bigger, because it got a lot more space. Just make it bigger. It'll be cooler to make it bigger, and I would like it. It'll be cool. It'll be nice. I would really enjoy that, literally. But of course, I even love how Hogwarts Castle looks like. It's really well done from the outside. Of course, in the inside, it's not super proportioned, but I understood where I was because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So I liked how Dumbledore's office is actually very well themed. Everything's actually like how Dumbledore's office is supposed to look like. The hallways feels like you're actually walking through the hallways of Hogwarts, even though it's kind of smaller, not super accurate, but it still felt like I was in Hogwarts. So for me, I loved it. I really loved it. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I'm a really big Harry Potter fan, and I was loving every minute of it just walking through the queue area, because the queue area is really well done. It's pretty long, and some people may complain about really long line areas, whatever, but this one I felt like I really wanted a long line area, a long queue area, and they did a great job with it. Really great job with it. I don't mind that it was long because I was very entertained with it, and I love how the pictures that you actually see, they look pretty realistic. They do. They really do. You would really think that they're painting, even though they're kind of like screens or whatnot. They do a really good job by having them interact with you, because they do interact with you, they do talk to each other, the paintings talk to each other, which is really nice, cool. I wonder how they do it, because I would say, the Wizarding World Harry Potter era is Disney quality, and that sums up for the Wizarding World Harry Potter. Now, I did say Lost Content is iffy because I'm a bit off for it now, but I still love it from the fact that it's really well done. Because there used to be 3 different sections. Basically, the Lost Content used to be into a Greek mythology section, an Arabian mythology section, and the medieval times section, which was going to be the which was the Dueling Dragons and the Flying Unicorn, which is now replaced with the Wizard World of Harry Potter. But of course, Lost Content just sucks now. It's just horrible, and that's why it begins my bad list, the bad area. First, Lost Continent sucks. I hate the fact that it sucks because it used to be the most fun area in the park, but the only reason why it was the most fun is because it had dueling dragons. What can I tell you? Not really much of it was really that appealing to me. Like, I don't like Sinbad, I don't really like shows for amusement parks. I think they're so useless. If you're gonna see a show, go outside, go to Arabian Times, or go to Arabian Nights and medieval times to go see a show. Don't go to Universal Studios or Disney for a show. Well, not saying that they're bad, because Disney's shows are pretty good, but I'm not really a big fan of shows. I don't want to go to a park to see a show, then go on a ride and see a show. To me, I'm just bored of it. I would fall asleep. Sure, it's actually pretty good to fall asleep. If you got a little bit tired, show's perfect. Show is perfect to do that. These shows, especially Sinbad, which I'm not even that fond of. I didn't even see it. Like, I'm gonna tell you that for sure. I'm not a big fan of Sinbad as a book and as a movie, but hey, I can't really tell you if I liked it. I've seen Poseidon's Fury, the original version and the new version. Didn't like both of them, so to me, I just say, just reinvent Poseidon's Fury as a roller coaster or water ride. It'll be cooler that way. Just reinvent the Lost Continent to be much more cooler, because the Lost Continent used to be cool because of Dueling Dragons, but Lost Continent is now just a bypass area. I did forget Dr. Seuss's area, but I gotta say that it's actually pretty well themed. It's another Disney quality area. I don't really count that because I don't usually go to that area mostly at all, but I do think it's really good for kids. Do love it, so I'll put that in the good. I know I just missed that, but I'll put that in the good. Man, I'm heading up to 30 minutes now. Jeez. I hope you guys are still with me for this review. Hopefully you are. But basically, the next bad thing about this park is gotta be Jurassic Park. Not saying that rides here do suck, but the only ride I would go here for is just River Adventure. I love River Adventure, but River Adventure has horrible theming. I'm not a big fan of Petatron Flyers because I believe it's just for kids or it's a family ride. I don't really do much family rides unless it's Big Thunder Mountain or Space Mountain, but not really this. Not because it's dangling, because I go on freaking sweet dangling rides. I've been on rides like that. I've been on Max many times. I go on like about 100 times in a year or more. Basically, I think I've done it more. Really, all I gotta say is that I'm just not fond of that type of attraction. I don't really want to go on that. Discovery Center I've never really been to, but if they do an expansion to this area, I'll be so psyched. I would go to Discovery Center, but I do think it's an underrated area, but I still don't think Jurassic Park is that much of a fun area. I didn't think it's that well themed. Sure, it's themed after the movie, which is a jungle. What can you really do much with it? But I felt it would have been cool to see, like, the picket fences, the electric fences that they have. It's like about, I don't know, 10 feet tall. Hell, the trees are about 10 feet tall. Why can't you just make them about 10 feet tall? It would be cool to see the picket fences and say, oh, now I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park, because just seeing trees, I didn't really care. I just felt like I was in an amusement park that just had a dinosaur-themed area. That, to me, didn't really care. Even the queue area, I'm gonna go back to the queue area for Jurassic Park River Adventure. The queue area sucks. That's it. That's all I got to say. The queue area for Jurassic Park River Adventure sucks. I get bored in that queue area. Even though it's about 15, 20 minutes now, 25 minutes at least, it's not even that long of a wait anymore. Maybe 45 minutes at most. I've seen 45 minutes at most. I've never seen it higher. I still think the queue area for this ride sucks for the fact that there's nothing to do. Why can't you give me something to do or something to look at? Not no computer, not just TV screen that tells me you're gonna get wet. I know I'm gonna get wet. There's a reason why I'm going to ride. I'm gonna get wet. I want to get wet, okay? Don't tell me I'm gonna get wet. I just came off of Dudley Do Right and Popeye. I'm ready to get wet. and then go on Harry Potter to get dry. Just, just give me the chance to know I'm gonna get wet. No, just give me a chance to do something, to learn something here. I'm in Jurassic Park, for crying out loud. This place is supposed to be considered to being a place to know what dinosaurs are, and they don't tell you crap. The Q area for this area sucks. All I think is Universal just refurbish the ride again sometime this year. I wouldn't mind, but reinvent the Q area. Just redesign the Q area. Maybe to be an interior Q area. Kind of give us like a little bit of a detour of how each not roller coaster. Each dinosaur is crafted. What do they eat? Give us like a little bit like a miniature. Have something to play with. With the little dinosaur or whatnot. And when it comes time for us to get out, we go out of the actual ride, the building, and we go onto the ride, and we enjoy the river adventure. And that's cool. I would like that. And matter of fact, I know you can't make the ride longer, but try adding some newer things, like, yo, put in some fireballs or something. That'll be cool. That's really, that's all I can really say for Jurassic Park. But truly, that's all I can really say. Jurassic Park area, it just sucks. This would have been cool to go through the, walking path area, giving actual directions to the Discovery Center, because I just don't know how to get there. I know, I miss the actual signs that say Discovery Center. Go to, Jurassic Park Discovery Center. I've never seen it. I'm sorry. Sorry. Next time I go there, I'm definitely gonna see the Discovery Center. I'm gonna be looking for it when I get through there, so I can get some more reviews on it. Because I'm gonna review this park, but right now this is my actual initial stance on it. Next bad, it's gotta be Wolverine on a big still of Wolverine, Dr. Rock, Octopus, Storm, every single Marvel character just plastered onto a building. That's my biggest gripe. I just hate it. Stop doing that. Just you know what? Universal, just take them down and make the buildings look normal. Just leave it as is. Just not as is with the Wolverine on a freaking building, but just make it look normal. Make it look like it's actually out of a comic book. That's all. Take down Wolverine. We're gonna take a picture of Wolverine as a person, and as he comes out as a mascot, whatever. Just leave it alone. Like the hell. Let's get on to my rating. What do I give Universal's Anzo Adventure? Basically, I would give my ratings from 10 being Disney quality and 1 being a piece of shit. Basically, that's what I would give it. I said I would never curse, but those are the only times I'm gonna curse. Piece of shit, number 1. 10 Disney quality. But what do I give Universal's Anzo Adventure? I give Universal Anzo Adventure a 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty near Disney quality, and I really love the park. The only thing that really makes you just cringe is my minor nitpicks. Most of my nitpicks are pretty much big nitpicks, because the thing about Anzo Adventure is that they're trying to go for the biggest Disney quality. I can tell that from most of their areas. I know I haven't really said that in a review, but they are. They are. When you walk through the park and see the adventure begins, you feel like you're getting into a theme park. You're feeling you're about to go into a theme. And you see that we go into a lagoon, you see like different islands that have different worlds. So you're thinking right away, hey, I'm in for something different. I'm gonna be into a different world. I'm gonna be immersed. But walking into a Marvel Super Island, you're kind of immersed until you see Wolverine on the building. Toon Lagoon, I know why people just get so unimmersed from the fact that they see, cartoons everywhere, and they're expecting to see, I don't know, cartoon characters just walking around, and basically based on every character that's in the area, which is Popeye and Dudley Do-Right, but you don't really get the chance to see that all the time, except for the Dudley Do-Right ride or the Popeye ride. And I understand that, once again. Jurassic Park is one of my most hated areas from the fact that there's really not much that I can really enjoy there, especially from the queue areas, from the fact that they're just so boring. Lost Continent doesn't really have much of like the park has a big lack of care. Let's just give it out that idea, because we got Wizard of Harry Potter. we did get original of Harry Potter, but there has been a lack of care for most of the other areas. Like Marvel Super Island is due for a new attraction, not a new refurbishment. Like we got a new refurbishment, we like that, but give us a new attraction, Universal. Toon Lagoon is due for a new attraction. Not like we got a good refurbishment, we got a good paint job to Dudley Do Right Beside Falls. But we need a new attraction, and not one that's getting rid of another. Just give us a new attraction. That's all. The Lost Continent really needs an attraction. It's been needing an attraction for 13 years. And yet, all it got cut off was this medieval section, and yet we still don't get crap, and yet we're even getting rumors that it's going to be more sectioned down just to Sinbad and Mythos. Are you serious? Ugh. The good of the park is the fact that the thrills here are really good and very unique that you can't really find them anywhere else. You're gonna enjoy your thrills here. You're gonna love the Amazing Spider-Man ride. You're gonna really love Hulk Coaster. You're gonna love Jurassic Park River Adventure. You're gonna love Dudley Do Right Over the Falls. You don't understand what I'm getting here. You're gonna love all the attractions here that's thrilling. Even Dueling Dragons, which I barely kind of said, but you're gonna really love it. You're gonna enjoy what you have as an attraction here. As an attraction at the park. And basically, that's really what I can give you. So, that's my review of Islands of Adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see some more, click subscribe. Leave a comment with which other park do you guys think I should review. And hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.